Hello everyone, today we're going to go over a Stamina Templar build for Summerset. I'm definitely enjoying this build. I'm definitely having a lot of fun with it, especially with the jewelry trait changing. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and it has been very strong. Now, stat sheets. I have 20.5k health, 34.3k max stamina. Stamina recovery is relatively low at 755. Weapon damage is 3.2k unbuffed, and weapon crits 49.8% unbuffed. I have 18k spell resistance and 15k physical resistance. I have 64 points into stamina, and the boon I'm running is the Thief. Using basic bicep food. If you use dubious, your stamina and your health will drop just a tad bit, but your recovery will hit over 1,000. I will say I am an Imperial. It's one of the reasons why my health is so high with no points into it. So, set. First 5-piece set I'm running is Ravaging. Ravaging has, with the jewelry trait, it is amazing. I've run it on my PvP Templar for so long, and now to be able to trait change to jewelry so I could actually run it on for PVE, it is definitely fun. I'm running a Nern dagger with a poison enchant on it, and an infused axe with a weapon damage enchant on it. Now, what Ravaging does, it gives you weapon crit, gives you max health, weapon damage, and when you deal melee damage, you have an 8% chance to increase your weapon damage by 630 for 10 seconds. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. This thing's down at 3 seconds at the most. It is up pretty consistently. Running a Maelstrom bow on the back bar with a weapon damage enchant. It is defending. If you can, I would highly recommend running infused or Nern. Just at the time, I have not gotten one. I don't have the gems to transmute this. I have bows on other tunes, but for right now, this is just what I'm rocking. But I highly recommend infused or Nern if you got it. Maelstrom, increase the damage volley deals by 156 each tick. The bonus increases by 54 every time volley ticks. This alone, if you don't have this alone will increase your DPS score by 3k, by at least 3k. You know, somewhere between, I would say somewhere between 2 and 3. So, now, monster set, I'm rocking Veldreth, heavy head, medium shoulders, all divines, all with max stamina. Veldreth gives you weapon damage, and when you deal damage, you have a 20% chance to spawn 3 disease spores in front of you. After 1 second, that deals 13.2k disease damage to the first enemy they hit. This effect can occur once every 9 seconds. I like Veldreth, I like the weapon damage, so I'm still running it. But Stormfist is a good replacement, or Celine's if you want to go with that. I just like running Veldreth. Is personal preference. Whatever monster set you prefer, you can go with that. Stormfist would be Stormfist or Celine's would be my next pick though. Now for the second 5-piece set that I'm running is War Machine. I'm running it all in the body, all divines, all with max stamina. What War Machine does is it gives you max stamina, gives you minor slayer at all times, increasing your damage done to dungeon trial monsters by 5%, weapon damage, and when you use an ultimate ability, you and the closest 2 allies within 20 meters of you gain major slayer. For 10 seconds, increasing your damage done to dungeon trial monsters by 15%. This, being a Templar, you get your ultimate back pretty quick. They have a very cheap ultimate in Crescent Sweep, and it is, you can spam that, and you're basically keeping Major Slayer up. It lasts for 10 seconds, and I can usually cast an ult within 13, so there's usually a 3-second downtime on it. Jewelry, I'm running 1 Robust with a weapon damage enchant, and then the other 2 Bloodthirsty, both with weapon damage enchant. If you wanted to, you can just transmute these to Robust. Maybe have 1 Bloodthirsty and the other 2 Robust. Your stamina will go up a lot higher. But before I transmute these to Bloodthirsty, I did try Robust, and my stamina pool was sitting around 38, I want to say 38k, but Bloodthirsty is definitely nice, and now my stamina is 34, so I lost 4k stamina, but I did increase that extra damage for the execute, because stamina Templars don't really have an execute, so that Bloodthirsty is definitely, it comes in handy. My jabs go from hitting for 4 to 6k, depending on the buffs that I have active at the time, to when they hit under 25%, to I think it's 9 to, I've had one hit at 11k, so it definitely increases the damage. Skills, biting jabs, you're spammable, deals 3.2k physical damage to its closest enemy and 1.3k physical damage to all other enemies. Reduces their movement speed, but it gives you major savagery as well, increasing your weapon critical rating by 2.1k for 8 seconds. So basically, our crit goes up to 59.8%, which is lovely. Rending slashes Deals 2.7k physical damage with each weapon, causing them to bleed for an additional 11.4k physical damage over 9 seconds. You also reduce their movement speed by 40% for the duration. Power Light, hit them with a beam, dealing 4.8k physical damage to them and copying all the damage taken for 6 seconds and releasing 20% of it as additional physical damage to them. Maximum copy damage 20.5k. Targets are also affected with minor fracture and minor breach, reducing their physical spell resistance by 1.3k for 6 seconds. And we're using Deadly Cloak, dealing 2.4k physical damage to all nearby enemies every 3 seconds for 15 seconds. The Razor shields you from shrapnel, reducing the damage you take from area effect attacks by 25%. As I've said in every other video, keep this up at all times. This will save you a lot more than it will hurt. Repentance, bunch of fallen, as you're running through dungeons and trials and things like that, and as bodies are laying on the ground, you pop Repentance. Heals you and your allies for 2.9k health. It restores 2.9k stamina to you for each corpse in the area. While solid, you gain minor fortitude, minor endurance, and minor intellect, increasing your health, stamina, and magic recovery by 10%. Crescent Sweep only costs 72 ultimate. You get that back very, very quickly within the 13 seconds. Like I said, 13 seconds, you'll have Crescent Sweep back up. You can spam it again. So War Machine pretty much has a 3-second downtime. Swing your spear around with a Holy Vengeance, dealing 9.7k physical damage to all nearby enemies. Additional 4.6k physical damage every 2 seconds for 6 seconds. Enemies in front of you take 66% more initial damage. Now, I think I was in normal Halls of Fabrication and hit the final boss with this, and it dealt 26k damage. It hit for 26k. 72 ultimate, 76k, or 22k every 13 seconds. It's quite a bit. It's definitely nice. Back bar, running Flawless Dawnbreaker. If you choose to, you don't have to run Dawnbreaker here. You can put Ballista, just as good. But I just like having Dawnbreaker on the back bar. Besides, I usually use Crescent Sweep. Dawnbreaker I will use when running through dungeons, just a bunch of trash mobs there, pop them. That's it. Sometimes Crescent Sweep, it just depends. Ring of Preservation, brand the earth at your location with a rune of protection for 20 seconds. Your allies in the area have the cost of roll dodge reduced by 20% and gain minor protection and minor endurance, reducing your damage taken by 8%, increasing your stamina recovery by 10%. If you don't want to use this, by all means you can use the Ruin, Restoring Focus. This will give you major resolve, major ward, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 5.2. This give you minor vitality, minor protection, increasing your healing received by 8%, reducing your damage taken by 8%. It is nice, it's good, but I go with it because my stamina recovery is low because I'm not using Dubious for the most part. Sometimes I use Dubious, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the fight. This helps me with more stamina recovery. Resolving Vigor on the back bar heals me for 10.9k health over 5 seconds and by allies for 8.4k health over 5 seconds. Rearming Trap. Set a sharpened blade trap at your location, which takes 1.5 seconds to arm and lasts for 1 minute. When triggered, the trap deals 2.8k physical damage and an additional 7.5k physical damage over 6 seconds. Immobilizes the enemy for 6 seconds and grants you minor force, increasing your critical damage by 10%. After being triggered, the trap resets and can be triggered 1 more time. Endless Hell, 1.2k physical damage to enemies in the target area every 0.5 seconds for 10 seconds. And with a Maelstrom Bow, it is very, very dangerous. It is a huge part of your DPS. Definitely try to keep this up at all times, or only have it down 1 or 2 seconds. Poison Injection, dealing shoot an arrow coated in poison at an enemy and dealing 5k poison damage and additional 9.4k poison damage over 10 seconds. The damage over time deals up 260% more damage to enemies while under 50% health. This is the closest thing an a Stamina Templar has to an execute. So definitely when they start to get below 20%, 25 health, you want to try to keep this up while keeping this up and this on them, and then just jab them to death. But anyways, champion points. I run 21 into Sprinter, 26 into Warlord. I have 64 into Tenacity, 64 into Mooncalf, 44 into Tumbling, and 31 into Shadow Ward. See nothing there. I have 35 into Physical Weapon Expert and 37 into Master at Arms, 40 into Thermometers, 51 Precise Strikes, 23 Piercing, 64 Mighty, 51 Spell Shield, 44 Medium Armor Focus, 64 Hardy, 64 Elemental Defender, 27 Quick Recovery. But again, champion points, You can balance them out to however you feel like you need them best. This is just where it seems to help me out the most. So, but that is the build. I'm definitely loving the Ravaging on the Stem Templar. It has definitely been wonderful. But monster sets, Veldrath is nice. If you don't have Veldrath or you don't want to run Veldrath because you just don't like it, Stormfist is a real nice one, or Celine's. Them two would be just as good. Celine's honestly would probably be a little better for Celine's is definitely better for single target. But Stormfist is really good for AoE, and so is Veldrath. That's why I kind of rock them. Dagger, you can go dual dagger if you want to instead of a dagger and an axe. Maelstrom bow, definitely you kind of want a infused or a Nern trait. I just have a defending and don't have the transmute crystals to transmute it right now. But anyways, that is the video, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, until